So if you get a chance, go in there, go to the tokeofthetown.com and read the top 10 reasons Texas should legalize cannabis. Another one, which I know we've spoken about last week, was the Washington, D.C. residents overwhelmingly support marijuana legalization for adults. 63% of the D.C. residents want to legalize marijuana for adults. And that's a trend that's just going around everywhere. Like I said, the national poll for ABC, which is, you know, I mean, who knows how conservative they were. You never know with the media, with the big media. That was a pretty much split, you know, and this small area of Washington, D.C., which isn't even a full state, is, 63% of the people there. I'm like, well, is that politicians? You know, it's definitely people that are around government and stuff like that all day long, you know, so you'd think they'd have a pretty good perspective on the impacts on government and politics and economy and all that, and obviously the majority of them want to legalize. Oh, another state added to the list, and this is from I just want to point that out. They just made like a leap. They did like 2 jumps and a step. Marijuana legalization is well, now they say 1 step closer to finding a place in the 2014 Missouri state ballot. Missouri Secretary of State Jason Kander released 13 petitions Wednesday asking whether Missouri should legalize sale and consumption of the drug, including for medical purposes, expunge marijuana-related offenses from the records of convicted criminals, which would be awesome, and authorize the government to tax and regulate the marketplace. And, I mean, all this stuff is pretty logical. You know, it's like, hey, if we're going to make it legal, we shouldn't go back and say, oh, you know, you guys just need to remain in jail because you did that while it was illegal. And it's like, well, like I said earlier, nonviolent offenses, you know, and then if the law changes, it's like, come on, man, give them a break. You know, you guys were wrong for all this time. It's almost like, to me, that if they put them in jail for that, then it should not only expunge it from the record, they should release them from prison and possibly pay them for their downtime, something, you know, some type of reimbursement that they lost a pretty considerable chunk of their life, you know, to something that was misconstrued by some people and misunderstood by others that has found to be, you know, very beneficial to society in multiple ways. So we got another proponent for medical marijuana, and this is a big one. This guy's a big hitter, heavy hitter. I never would have expected this. You know, I kept thinking the high up politicians, you never really hear anything out of their mouth, you know, except for like the presidents every now and then, like, yeah, I smoked weed, but I did inhale. And then Obama's like, you know, I might do something for medical marijuana reform, you know, hope and change. And then he gets elected and you don't really hear anything about it. And then you hear stuff from Eric Holder and he's like, oh, we're not going to bust them. But then later on you hear about some busts. So you're like, well, I don't know who I can trust. And I don't know how much trust you should put in this either. But Harry Reid, the House Majority Leader, has decided that he would back medical marijuana. You know, that he doesn't have any problem with medical marijuana at this point. And obviously, you know, he's deployed a little bit of common sense because now, you know, maybe he's learned some things to his wisdom there, or maybe he's one of those people that just believes paper reports and wasn't getting anything that was legit before. Because he says a decade ago, if I would, you know, I would have said no to medical marijuana because it leads to other stuff. He's like, but I can't say that anymore. Obviously, the stigma's gone and all that garbage, you know, that people were pumping out, whoever did it, government, the media. Some people say it was the guy that owned a paper mill, you know. All kinds of people were pretty much discrediting marijuana and saying, oh, you know, the Mexicans are bringing it up from Mexico, and it's for the blacks and it'll make you rape crazy. Well, we're way beyond all that racism and crap now. You can't play those cards on us and we're not stupid. So, and obviously this guy has seen that and he's like, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and back this because I'd look like an idiot if I didn't. I think that about wraps up my 421 news. Like I said, go check out cannabisnews.org and tokeofthetown.com. I have got a commercial to roll in for you guys, and I got some more music for you by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so I hope you enjoy.
Have you ever used Lexicol to counteract the effects of a date rape drug and had someone then use an anti-date rape drug blocker like Safarilla and the drink right afterwards? You may be thinking like, what the fuck do I do now? Use Lexicol. Ultra. Lexicol. Ultra. Counteracts the effects of the anti-date rape drug blocker like Safarilla. So be smarter, be safer. Get Blexicol.
Side effects may include dizziness,
Shortness of breath,
dry mouth,
rectal bleeding,
presumptuous stool,
stunt pubic hair growth,
unexpected ejaculation,
lung worms,
oily discharge,
vomiting,
lung ear,
ass breath.
and tearing of the anal wall and rectum. RareCorp is not responsible if the patient becomes addicted to Blexicol. If you experience the above-mentioned symptoms, please promptly arrange your affairs and make peace with life as you're going to die. Blexicol is intended for the usage mentioned in this commercial. The use of Blexicol is strictly prohibited in the United States, Mexico, Uganda, Bolivia, United Kingdom, Russia, Canada, France, Scotland, Ireland, Belgium, Germany, China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Spain, Morocco, South Africa, Egypt, Slovenia, India, Colombia, Argentina, Middle-earth, Metropolis, Hoth, the Shire, Epcot Center, Pep Boys, and Italy. RareCorp releases any and or responsibility for any harm the Blexicol may cause.
Really enjoy your Blexicol.
My shadow side so amplified keeps coming back dissatisfied. Elementary son, but it's so. My love affair with everywhere was innocent. Why do you care? Someone start the car. Time to go. You're the best I know. My sunny side is up and down. I'm betting now when we collide, the universe will shift into a low. The travesties that we have seen are treating me like Ben's a dream. Automatic laughter from a pro. My, what a good day for a walk outside. I like to get to know you a little better, baby. God knows that I really tried. My, what a good day for a take-out ride. I'd like to say we did it for the better of. I saw you there so unaware. Those hummingbirds all in your hair. Elementary son, but it's so. The disrepair of Norma Jean could not compare to your routine. Ballerama beauty going toe to toe. My, what a good day for us. Let it slide. I'd like to say we did it for the better of. I thought about it and I brought it out. I'm motivated by the lack of doubt. I'm consecrated, but I'm not devout. The mother, the father, the daughter. Yeah. Right on the verge, just one more dose. I'm traveling from coast to coast. My theory isn't perfect, but it's close.
Welcome back to 421. I hope you enjoyed The Wet Sand by Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's another song that pumps me up, man. I got a whole list of them today. I just get, like, rocked out on that shit, man. And I was, I got Blackheart Betty in here. She's just chilled out. I don't know if she's Facebooking or what, but I was talking to her. I was like, man, I made all that commentary about Jimi Hendrix earlier about being a rock and roll god and turning it up to 11. I said, Flea does the same damn thing for me. The whole Chili Peppers are awesome, but Flea, for some reason, he hits those bass lines that do the same thing for me as those Jimi Hendrix lines. I gotta get up and jam. Anyways, we did the Token Flicks. We did the 421 News. I think I know what comes next. Hippie Happens. And now, I probably should slightly apologize for this Hippie Happens because I had to kind of write it on the fly. But it hit me. I had an idea for it last night. I was backing out, and I was a little bit stoned. And I was having to back out by this truck, and it was real close. And I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to be that pothead that, like, runs into somebody's car. Everybody's like, oh, marijuana messes up your depth perception. That fucking stoner ran into that truck. You saw him. So I was like, I hit up my wingman, Mad Max. I was like, hey, man, check that side for me. So I backed that all creepy slow because I was very paranoid. And that's what this Hippie Happens is titled, The Fear. I'm starting to get the fear. And it's fear. The type of fear I'm talking about is the unnecessary fear that you get when you get high of a lot of the stuff, the stigmas that follow. You don't want to get rapey, like they used to say. Someone once said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Paranoia comes when you get a hold of some dank, though, and it manifests itself as the fear. Thoughts of letting down your weed brethren by either filling some archaic stereotype or just plain fucking up is all you can think about. You just get in that zone sometimes. You're like, god dang. You get high and you have to do something you didn't even think you were going to have to do, and then suddenly you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll fuck this up, I gotta go talk to these people, and I don't want to sound like a retard because I'm not a retard. I'm just high, and I wasn't ready for this at this moment. You gotta be prepared, and sometimes you get high, you're not thinking about being prepared. And, people always say, you never see a pothead doing. So I thought about, what's a list of things you never see a pothead doing? Or people say you never see a pothead doing. One of them was speeding. Somehow, through some magical chemical of the 420 chemicals involved in marijuana, I'm not sure if that's a fact. One of those chemicals limits your speed at 45 miles an hour, no matter if you're on, a 55 highway, or if you've gone on the interstate where the max speed's 70 or 75, or if you're in Montana or wherever you can go speed limitless, for some reason your foot won't push that pedal past 45. And I'm not sure what that is. It's like stuck ankle syndrome. But you don't want to be that pothead that, like, if for some reason it clicks. You're driving down the road and you're like, oh shit, am I speeding? You keep looking down. Yeah, you're doing 45. You drive 4 miles down the road and you're like,